So after having one of the best product launches we have ever done in my small business, we sold out with the Bumblebutt plush toys in 10 minutes. This is insane. And after 9 years trying to build my small business, I think I've finally cracked the code on how to plan a whole product collection. And today I'm going to break down and expose literally every little step I do to plan my product collection. Let's get into it, shall we? Holy smokes, look at all these orders on the table. Dean's actually put Bumblebutt on the side of these orders here, but we actually had to move another table just over there to fit all these on. The seagull, why does Egbert always kick off as soon as I hit record? Oh, trying to work here. Someone actually mentioned that I should do Egbert part of like a product collection. I need to do that, don't I? That'd be funny. Anyway, hello guys. So as you have seen in our last video, we did do our big product collection, which was the blue hydrangea range. And me and Dean literally have been working all weekend to get these orders finished. It's currently 9:30 at night on a Saturday and me and Dean have been on orders all night. Look at all this. We wanted to get it all out of the way. Oh, I'm shattered. I also noticed Dean had stuck a bunch of these miscuts on the side of the packages. Hey, happy Dean, we got orders down to 0. Someone's ordered. Don't complain, Dean. We need those orders. Oh, we got it down to 0 and someone ordered. Thank you so much. Will we ever get home, Dean? He really doesn't want to go home. He's making a little chubby heart mouse mat. We're gonna get it finished by the end of the day. There we go. Little chubby heart mouse mat. We got all orders done. Oh, we can call it a night now. Dean and Mike are gonna be on the big task today of getting these all labelled up and shipped out in the post bags. But yeah, me and Dean were literally in all weekend and we managed to get it done. We didn't leave till like pretty much 9-10 p.m. every night until they were done. It's really weird with our shop launches because we have like regular customers here at Katnipp and it really makes us smile to see the collection, and we didn't genuinely think this blue hydrangea range would be as popular as it was. If you watch last week's shop launch video, you will have seen my reaction in real time. I was so shocked and overwhelmed at how this product collection went down. But it's really weird here at Katnipp because we develop these collections and product launches here on this channel, so you guys like watch it and see it in development, and then I put like a launched release day out and then it goes live. And what tends to happen is we have this big spike in orders and then it kind of like goes back to like a flat line, so it like basically just goes back to normal. What I tend to do here at Katnipp is I jump on the orders as much as I can with Mike and Dean. They've both been in doing it as well. I like to get them all out, so there is normally like a week after launch of like a busy hectic time of packing it all, and then it kind of equalizes and we can kind of go back into our usual flow. I never actually, when I first started Katnipp, did product launches like this, but when I went back, I think it was like 2018, we had our first experience of a sellout product. We had our Pudding the dog stickers that sold out because one of my first ever studio vlogs kind of went on the algorithm and went like semi-viral. It was just me and my single cricket at the time and I couldn't keep up with the orders at all and I had to get my sister in. It was the first time I got my sister in to help me out and we were packaging away the orders. And then I developed another character called Gingy. He is my gingerbread man that comes out at like Christmas time. But Gingy's for life, not just for Christmas, I'm just saying that. And he also sold out. The enamel pin sold out straight away and we couldn't believe it. And we had a few people reach out that they were a little disappointed that they didn't manage to get their hands on items. And do I do releases, like do I put a date up and a time up so that they can make sure that they get it? And at the time my business wasn't at the point where I needed to do this. Like I just like used to launch a product here and there. Then I learned that actually people do enjoy making sure that they're on at a certain time and that they know about the launch so they can get their hands on. Maybe they want to have it for a present or whatever. They like to know the time and date that things are releasing. So then I started, I think it was around about 2018 or 2019, I started to mention when things were going live. And last year in 2023, I started to work on actual collections. But my experience as a small business owner has been, I miss a lot of the sale season. So I was very, and still find it very strange to create like autumnal nice illustrations and Christmas illustrations in the middle of summer. But that's exactly what I've learned that we're gonna have to do, and that is what today's vlog and this week is all about. We are going to be sitting down. I'm going to show you exactly now how I plan my product ranges and collections. I really need to sit down and plan it to an inch of its life, otherwise it doesn't get done. Honestly, I've learned this the hard way. Even last year, I feel like although we uploaded our autumnal range in the middle of September, I launched my Christmas range a little too late, I would say. So I'm actually going to plan this week, Egbert, I'm trying to talk here. I'm actually going to plan this week my Halloween and Christmas collection in 1 week, and I'm going to show you exactly how I plan it. And the reason I need to plan it is because some things that I get shipped out take a while to come to us. So things like enamel pins and my gaming mouse mats, they are outsourced and need to be shipped to us. So I need to get them sent out weeks in advance, and I've basically scheduled the whole of today to plan my product launches. So let's get to work, shall we? While I eat my lunch, I'm going to gather this time to mood board and gather inspiration. I actually have a notes list on my phone of all the product collection ideas that pop into my mind. I usually get inspired from like a variety of different ways. For example, I have mentioned in my last product launch, I was inspired by the blue hydrangeas I spotted last year on my trip to Japan, and that's what inspired this year's summer collection. So I actually had Bumblebut and the blue hydrangea range as a little note in my phone, and I would often write down ideas or collections as soon as the pop into my mind for future reference. I've actually got things on my board that don't come into fruition for like a couple of years, so I've even got next year's Halloween in mind. And most of my inspiration does actually come from traveling and also social media. Keeping an eye on the trends can also be handy, because this year I'm actually using the coquette aesthetic I've seen all over social media as a Christmas collection idea, but it is blended with also the idea of a chubby deer, which was actually inspired by my trip to Nara in Japan, where we met loads of wild deers. So I'm blending my travel inspiration along with the trend this year, and I honestly don't think you need to travel to gather inspiration. For example, say you're a homebody, you could create a homebody collection with books and candles, and you could pick a colour palette to choose from, or you could even just base collections off a simple word prompt, like for example magic cat. One place I actually get a lot of inspiration as well is actually the Disney parks. Each season they release a new collection of basically the exact same product, like the bags, the jerseys, they're the same thing, but they're just in a completely different style and theme that year, and many huge businesses actually do this as well. So I took this on board and I started applying it when I started planning my own collections. I've just had my dinner, and the first thing that I'm going to do is actually just gather up a load of inspiration. I've literally blocked off pretty much this full day, and I'm going to go on like Pinterest, Google, and gather some inspiration and some colour palettes and stuff, create a mood board, and then I can start building out my to-do list and building out my product list and then start developing them. Usually I wouldn't launch Halloween and Christmas at the same time. However, really, because I'm quite late with the Halloween collection, I know it's only the end of July, beginning of August, but because I'm quite late, really I wanted to launch Halloween at the beginning of August, and then I wanted to launch Christmas in the middle of September. That's not happened this year, so what I think I'm going to do is launch them both at the same time, which I'm guessing will be the middle of September. Just it gives people, especially my international customers, chance to get the Christmas items in time, because every year I miss the mark on it. So we need to plan all that, and that's what I am going to plan now, and I'll show you the results. Let's get to it, shall we? Alright, so I basically sat down and planned out my final Q4 product collections for Christmas and Halloween. It's really easy to get like overwhelmed and know where to start with it. So I thought I'd break down exactly how I work on my collections now, what I've learned like over the years, and how I've done it in 2024. And there's also things I've just discovered as well that have really helped me out, and I've started to use it from the blue hydrangea range. So let's go in to my Notion and I'll show you kind of an overview of how I plan my year. You can watch the whole video on this on my channel if you want to see it in full. So it's really good to go in and keep analysing this, and this is what I do throughout the year in the quarters, because it's easy to write down your goals at the beginning of the year, and then what happens is you forget all about those goals. I switched to Notion last year and I've started using it for planning my whole year. Before then I used to use it in my planner. If I'm being totally honest, I would just keep it closed on my desk and I wouldn't like open it up. It's so strange. Whereas I actually use a Notion for my daily to-do list. So as you can see, I planned at the beginning of the year my collections in quarters, and I think this has been really, really handy to come back and analyse. And as you can see, I did have the blue hydrangeas down for quarter 2, but we actually ended up kind of having the daffodil and duck collection and the Mother's Day collection launching in quarter 2, and the blue hydrangea kind of like launched in quarter 3, and we ticked that off. And as you can see, July, September, which is what we're working on now, so quarter 3, is the Marshy and Bartholomew Dracula Spooky collection and the Chubby Reindeer collection, or I'm going to call it maybe Coquette Christmas or something like that. So if we go down here, we have my product goal breakdown of all the items I wanted to launch. As you can see, jumpers and t-shirts didn't actually happen in these months because I still needed to do experimentation with them. So now it is time to work on the new product collection. So as you can see, the little Chubby Reindeer collection, I broke down the products and stuff, but to get an idea of how I actually want my product collections to look and the idea I have in my mind, I usually have a theme in mind, but I don't actually know how I want that theme to expand out. Every time that I plan my product collections, I use a mood board to visualize the color palettes, the type of imagery that I want to be in my product collection. And this is really, really important to me as like a visual learner, thinker. I've shown this a few times on my vlogs. I used to initially just use like Photoshop or Canva, and I used to just paste loads of images together. However, I have now found my perfect solution for mood boarding and visualization and really breaking down my product ideas and collections, and it's worked so well. I mentioned this weeks ago and I discovered it while I was developing my blue hydrangea collection, and that is Milanote. So they have actually kindly sponsored today's video as well, so a huge thank you to them for partnering up on this video. I have shared that I've been using Milanote now since the blue hydrangea range, and this has been a game changer for me. Honestly, I've absolutely loved it. So I'm just going to quickly show you my blue hydrangea board so you can see how I actually planned out the colours and stuff. So this is what my mood board looked like for the blue hydrangea range. The one thing I love about Milanote as well is they have like these swatch things, which have been like a game changer. I can click on like a colour or something that I really love, and it'll even name it for me, and it'll give me like RGB code. How cool is that? So I have absolutely loved it. This was my blue hydrangea one. And then I also had this blue hydrangea project plan to-do list that I broke down all of the products that I wanted to do, and I went down and ticked these all off, and I kept this up as I was working on the range because it takes me weeks to work on the product ranges, and the first things I need to do is send off for mouse mats and enamel pins because they're the things that take the longest to get manufactured. So I managed to finally nail down my project plan for the Marshy and the Christmas range. So let me show you what it looks like. So it looks so cool and I can't wait to get to work on it. So this is my Marshy and Bartholomew Halloween collection. I actually used the template that they have to create this, and it has been so good. And I also have a little to-do list here that I can go back on, and this is my main page for it, like my project plan page for the items that I want to get in. And as you can see, the color palettes are looking really cute here. And then I also have the mood board tagged right here. So if we click on that, ta-da, this is my mood board. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to work on this, guys, because this is what is really good about sitting down, gathering inspiration, looking around, typing in. I typed in like vampire vibes, 90s. I've got like a pixel doll over here because that's what I used to do. I have this t-shirt that I saved and I've put it onto my mood board because I wanted kind of this vibe for my apparel as well. And as you can see, I've got Marshy and Bartholomew around over here, and you can kind of already see where this collection is going. You can see the colours, you can see the palettes, and having this as a visualization reference point for when you're illustrating and designing is literally ideal. I can't imagine me finding anything else that is going to be as good as mood boarding as this. And I just love the fact that I've got my project plan here, double click on this, look at my mood board, I can go back to my project plan and I can tick these all off. This is just a lot more visual than my actual yearly goals. Thought I would also show you the Christmas range. So this is the plan for my Christmas range. Can you see? I've added like these little PNGs with snowflakes. It's so freaking cute. I'm so excited. So this is like the chubby little reindeer. And my inspiration for this, I've got theme inspo here, is Gingy and Spice's gingerbread house. So this is an illustration that I did, I think 2 Christmases ago now. I wanted like coquette bows, like a vintage looking kind of Christmas. So let's look in my mood board. I'll just show you my mood board. So I wanted like kitsch, vintage, cozy. I had like these little tabs here just to kind of tie it all together, and I've collected a bunch of imagery and colours of the palette that I want to do this Christmas, and it's very kind of coquette Christmas. I'm gonna put that on, and as you can see, this is the vibe of the coquette Christmas chubby reindeer mood board. So yeah, that's the full plan. A huge thank you to Millinut for actually teaming up with me today to bring you this video and share with you how I do this, because I have absolutely loved it over the last few months. It's been a game changer. If you guys would like to check it out, you can sign up for free with no time limit by using the link in my description. A huge thank you again to Millinut for sponsoring today's video. Now I need to actually get to work on these product collections. So usually what happens, if you follow along on these videos, you can see this process kind of play out over weeks, because what I tend to do is break down my products in terms of timeline. So the things I focus on first are the things that take the longest to be manufactured, which is always the gaming mouse mats and the pins. They're the things that take the longest to arrive. And then over the course of the next few weeks, as I'm kind of doing other things, I'll start to develop other products. So things that take a shorter amount of time, like my stickers, because we print them here, that can be done the week of, but I usually know what illustrations I'm gonna have, because I usually use like the pins. They end up getting developed after the things that take the longest to be developed. So this is an example of my timeline that I have to work towards. So as you can see, 6 weeks to launch, I have to make it my priority to send off the enamel pins, because they're the things that take the longest. 4 weeks to launch, I need to be focusing on my gaming mouse mats. Ideally, if I get the enamel pins done in time, I'll probably push this more to 5 weeks to give me more leeway, because often these timelines are really tight and don't leave me much room, which is why sometimes my launches come out later. So really I need to give myself a little bit more leeway than this, but this is what we're dealing with right now. So things like my gaming mouse mats, if I do key rings or magnets, they also need to go out before then. So I want to do that in this launch. Clothing and apparel, this is more in case there's any problems with the design and I can redesign it and get some more shipped out. They don't actually take 4 weeks to get manufactured. It's just to allow me for some design time in between and do some proofing and samples. And then 3 to 1 weeks towards the launch, I tend to work on things like manufacturing things that I actually do in my studio, like mugs, mouse mats, stickers, and also notepads and stuff, because they don't take too long to manufacture, and I normally have to factor in also how long it takes me to actually design these. So this is a rough idea of my timeline and what I work towards. So the next step for me now is obviously putting this plan into action, and over the course of the next 6 weeks I will be documenting my full journey here on this YouTube channel, and you can go back and even watch how I've done it all throughout the last 9 years. If this plan seems really intimidating to you, this is not hiding. This is not how I started out in my small business. This is only something that I've started really nailing this year, and even then I still make mistakes. For example, my blue hydrangea range came out a whole month later than what we originally planned, because sometimes you don't take into consideration things like shipping delays, things where they haven't turned out right, so you have to resend them off, and there's all sorts of things to factor in for. So if you don't make your deadlines exactly, don't worry about it. I haven't done that for the last 9 years in business. And like I say, this isn't something that I had hashed out until year 9 in business, seriously. And the reason I've started to plan it so strategically is because I have other things I want to do in my life. I want to travel, I want to make sure that I hit the deadlines that I did, because there has been so many times I have missed crucial sales events. I actually launched a Halloween range 2 or 3 years ago now, in the middle of October. What was I thinking? I have no idea. We are already seeing lots of Halloween and Christmas sales in August here at Katnipp. There's a lot of people who are a lot more prepared than I am, and I think in business I've learned this over the years, and I still think I'm a little bit delayed, to be honest. If you go into supermarkets right now, you will see all the autumn stuff is already out. August is actually the time for kind of autumn or fall if you're American, and I have noticed that, and I have missed the deadline. I'm just about to work on my Halloween collection, so I'm still not perfect. I'm still trying to learn this, and it was my goal this year to get better and better, but life happens. I'm not going to try and beat myself up about it. I am getting better and better every year, and I hope this helps you guys as well plan your collections or your products. I hope you found this helpful. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start developing these products this week, in fact. So stay tuned. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and leave a comment, and I'll see you next week when we'll start putting these plans we've talked about into action. If you found this helpful, please give it a like. It really helps this channel out. Don't forget to subscribe to watch our small business journey, and a huge thank you again to Mill & Note for sponsoring and partnering up on today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Alright then, thanks so much for watching. I love you. Good night.